Well, I hate to say this, guys. It's with a heavy heart. Which seems to be mostly dirt, a bug, bunch of paint flakes, little T9 action. I got a few different flavors sitting in amongst the boat. Might as well just really get her coated. Why not? Gonna let you guys in on a little secret. I call this the bolt bucket. Granted, it's only about a 15% success rate that you find something. Yeah! Yep, now we're talking. What's up, BRB crew? That's what I'm start calling you guys, the Boat Restoration by Ben crew, or short, BRB crew. Shop is still, well, the shop's built. Need garage doors. I got a door installed. I need a driveway, and I just power washed all my concrete. I'm actually working on another video in tandem to this one right now, but I'm kind of at a stopping point, so I can't finish it until I get some concrete sealer in before I can move anything onto the new concrete pad. I'm sealing it first. So anyway, while that's happening, in the background, you know, we're doing all this work so I can get the Wellcraft 33 Coastal project inside ASAP, and I can't do that or any of its supplies that are in the trailer until the concrete floor and driveway are ready to receive it. So in the meantime, heading back to the Pursuit 3400 Fisherman to deal with a little bit of a, what I think is actually a maintenance item on it right now. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, this is Boat Restoration by Ben. And guys, we are at 33,000 subscribers and counting. Let's get to 50. 50 is a huge milestone for me. I was happy when I got to 1,000 way back in the day. So everything, all the support you guys have been pouring into the channel has just been so appreciated. I couldn't do it without you. So let's get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of July. Come on, we can do it. Boost these videos up. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Also, BRB merch is online. You can visit my website, boatrestorationbyben.com, or go check it out via the YouTube channel store. Get you guys some swag that also helps support the channel immensely. And if you guys have a boat project or need help or have a question about your boat restoration stuff that you're working on in your backyard, in your garage, in your driveway, reach out. My email's in the description. I would love to help you guys. Also looking for more cool boat restoration projects to take on for myself. So let me know if you guys got anything. I would love an old Formula SR1 speedboat project, engine rebuild, whatever it might be. I'm in the market, so let me know if you guys have some sort of cool old speedboat for me. You know, I'm all tuckered out on sport fishes and whatnot, so until we get the Wellcraft build done, I'm gonna focus on the Pursuit, the Wellcraft, and then, like I said, if there's some cool old speedboat, you guys got an old speedboat you want me to work on, fix up for you, build engines for, let me know. But I also am looking for one myself, so let me know. Shoot me a comment, shoot me an email. That'd be awesome. All right, I just pulled up to the marina. We're gonna hop on to the 2000 Pursuit 3400 and check out what I got going on. Well, no need for a wild introduction. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check out some previous videos. I have a whole series on fixing up the 2000 Pursuit 3400, but here she is in all of her glory now, the old-fashioned. Let's hop on and get right into it. So the boat is running and driving well, but I was ripping along this weekend and I noticed that my starboard transmission oil pressure was holding constant at 400 psi, which is good. That's what it's supposed to be at. But then the port transmission oil pressure sat there, fluctuated between 250 and 400, and then all of a sudden dropped down to like 40 psi. So I actually came off plane, I stopped, looked around, and then the thing jumped right back up to like 350, 400 psi. These are ZF transmissions. I think they're 1.5 to 1 ratio drives. But anyway, was a little, sorry, don't mind that, it's just me turning on the batteries. But it was a little concerning. I hadn't seen that before. When I shift in and out of gear, that transmission oil pressure dips, which is fairly common. You know, it'll dip down to like 50 and then shoot back up to, you know, 350, 400, whatever it might be. But anyway, I'm gonna climb down in the engine room and see what's going on, because it fluctuated for a second and then it was back to being normal levels, you know, over 250 psi the rest of the time we were cruising. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Really hope I don't have to rebuild transmissions, but as far as what I can research, anything above 200 psi on these transmissions is good. But I don't like the fluctuation. I also don't like that my starboard transmission sits there at 400 psi consistently all the time. That tells me that that's not enough gauge fluctuation, especially for the speeds it runs and everything like that. So I'm gonna look into that as well, see if maybe a wire may be loose or the oil pressure sender. It's just a little simple 2-wire 12-volt pressure solenoid, or not solenoid, but pressure, just like an oil pressure thing that reads up to 600 psi. So I'm gonna look at that on the transmission and see if there isn't some issue with wiring. There has been in the past, so we'll take a look. It is really bright in here. I mean, I need to put some sunglasses on, but this isn't really going to be great, because I mean, now I can see, but I have to go down in an engine room, and then I'm not going to be able to see, and then I'm going to get out of the engine room and not be able to see, and not see in darkness, and also not see in the light. Anyway, yeah. Alrighty. Whoa. Got hair ties popping out. Life jackets, noodles. Uh-oh. Letting out the AC, man. Okay. I gotta remove this seat before I can pivot open the engine room, because that has a safety on it, and it won't let me actuate the seat or the entire engine hatch if this thing's sitting in there. It's got a little sensor on it, which is pretty freaking badass. All right, I need more hands. Boom. Booyah. God, I need to clean this thing up. There's hair everywhere. Gosh dang it. Alright, back down in the engine room. Now I gotta take my sunglasses off. See? Took them off. Alrighty. Well, let's see. What am I thinking about? Thinking about my sound deadening. I've just reached out to a guy to talk about getting some more sound deadening material in here. It is just way too loud when we're cruising, and I can't stand it anymore. So I'm gonna add some more sound deadening material all throughout the engine hatch here and engine room. Hopefully that helps with some of the turbo noise. But all right, we are in the engine room. It's more of a bay. There's not a whole lot of space, but if I peek over here here is our transmission. So there she is, the old ZF. Pretty simple, not super big. You know, little coupler. I guess could be a V drive if you set it up a different way. There's my shaft. I got 1.5 inch, or no, I think those are 2-inch shafts. Dripless shaft seals. And where's she at? I got my transmission oil dipstick there. And over here is my pressure sensor with a couple pressure sensor hookups. So 2 wires going to it. Real simple. So what I'm thinking, well, first off, let me check the connections on the sensor here. It feels like, well, I got a loose zip tie. Don't need that, but both these wires look okay. Both the caps here are solid. Just make sure those are screwed on properly. Yep. Alright, everything looks fine there. I'm not leaking anything, which is good. But then my dipstick, I encountered this last year, but when I open it, you guys hear that? Big suction. Like there's a vacuum being pulled. I mean, I'll show you. Hey, look at that. That's beautiful. Beautiful, clean oil. No metal. Plenty of oil in there. But for some reason, these transmissions are drawing a suction. You know, let me know in the comments if they're supposed to be doing that. And then guess what? After I pull that dipstick out, check oil, put it back in and get rid of the suction, the pressures that they display get much more constant, right? They're not as sporadic, especially when I shift in and out of gear. So again, let me know in the comments, is a suction like that from the transmission normal on these ZFs? Is that a sign of seal failure? Is it a sign of some sort of internal failure? Let me know, because I'm not super familiar with how these are supposed to be. I mean, I've had them on ski boats, I've had them on obviously this boat now too, but anyway, I'd be curious to know if suction like that is common. So everything looked normal on the port side. I'm gonna go over to starboard side here, which because of this exhaust, it's a little harder to get to, but the sensor is much more accessible. Yes, it's rusty, I know. I need to spray it with some anti-corrosion inhibitor. But, okay. Well, there's your sensor, and here's my problem. I got a loose connector, not even attached to the sensor. Peg is still there, the post on the back side. See if you guys can see that. I need to reattach this bad Larry and see if I can't find the screw or post in the bilge. Huh. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Well, and rummaging through my bilge, did not find anything good, but I did find a bunch of goodies, which seems to be mostly dirt, a bug, a bunch of paint flakes, maybe some leaves. I think those are leaves. An old cap, but not the cap or fitting I was looking for. So bad news is I had to go and touch and feel those things down there. Good news is that this stuff won't be in my bilge anymore. Also, the good news is that it was fairly dry as well. So, you know, look at the positives. Alright, I'm gonna have to go find a new fitting or nut to put on that post and clean up. Gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Ye who doesn't have a shop or fancy hardware organizer, well, I guess, me until recently. I still got to build it all out, but I call this the bolt bucket, the bolt bin. I've been working out of this thing for probably 10 years. And every little bit of leftover hardware I keep, I throw in here. I've got about like 4 more of these things back in the garage. But this is how I get by with hardware, trying to find what I need. Just come to the old scrap bolt bin, figure out what works, and throw it on whatever project I have. So this is how it is for now, but I'm hoping that very soon I will have my own bolt organizer and no longer be fishing through the bolt bucket. All right, let's get in here. See if this is the right size. Not too certain. Oh, it feels too big. Back to the bolt bin. Is there anything in here that is gonna work even remotely? Maybe I have to go back up to the big bolt bin. Yeah, that's a bummer. You know what? I'm gonna steal this one. Nope, I need pliers. Do I have pliers? I don't know if I have pliers. I think it's that size. It's definitely that size. Got the old backup set. It's a shitty pair of pliers, but hey, they work. Don't drop it. Alright, I feel like I can find something like that. I think I may have found what I need, but I'm going to take these with me in the spirit of not having to walk back up to the truck. Oh. Well, I hate to say this, guys. It's with a heavy heart. The bolt bucket failed me. Just didn't have what I needed. Granted, it's only about a 15% success rate that you find something that works. But anyway, I gotta get on the old Amazon. I guess order a new one of these VDO pressure sensors. But right now the internet's failing me, so hey, guess what? You know, I may not be the smartest guy ever, but I'm gonna put this one down here since it's hard to get to, and replace the oil pressure sensor up there with a nut. Good thinking, buddy. You know, sometimes I impress myself. But wait, we need some corrosion inhibitor on there first. Got it. Little T9 action. I got a few different flavors sitting in amongst the boat. Might as well just really get her coated. Why not? You know, everything loves good corrosion inhibitor. T9. Bow shield. That's some aircraft stuff right there. If it's good enough for an aircraft, good enough for me. Alright. Now, without dropping the goodie. Nice and easy, baby. That's assuming the threads aren't compromised. Come on, buddy. The hard-fought battle, but we won. We got it back on. Nice job. Now we still have to find a new nut for the oil pressure sensor, because we know what that does when it reads 0. It shuts the engine off. You know, you see those reels of those guys with like the super badass sport fishes, and their engine rooms are just perfectly clean. You can literally eat off of them. I envy those guys, you know, and you can sit there and say, well, if you worked harder, kept your engine room cleaner, you know, you could do that too. Well, sorry, I didn't buy this boat from new. Can't get underneath the engines. I can barely fit in here. So, you know, we keep her clean enough. It could be cleaner. But I've seen some of your boats. It's much cleaner than that. Oh, at least it smells like diesel fuel and oil down here instead of mold and crapper tanks. Oh God, I've been in some bad bilges. Anyway, we're ranting now. I found something. I found a rope that was loose, one of my tracer ropes, so I got distracted. I'll get back to the transmission in a second, but let me get this all sorted and then get back to the action. The side quest rusted washer replacement. I've been staring at this forever. It's been making me upset. There we go. Mucho better. No longer rusty. Alright, there are my key switches. The gauges fire up. Everything cycles. This guy's still reading 400. I don't know if I like that. Will it even cycle? Still says 400. We'll mess with it in a second. Let's start it. Yeah, even when you shift and go in and out of gear. See this guy? There goes transmission pressure when you shift in and out of gear. Okay, I'm gonna mess with this guy a little bit, see what's going on. Well, I went back down below and wiggled some wires. Found that it needs new connectors, because look, it just broke right off. Broke right off of the sensor. So, new connectors it is. There you go, back on. New connectors. Everything's tight. Everybody's happy. Get the old ones off. Let's see if we register some oil pressure this time. Round 2. Starboard motor. Now we're talking. Yeah. Yep. Now we're talking. Oil pressure jumps when we go in and out of gear. That's a win. Well, another good lesson learned on these old boats. Those old electrical connectors have been holding on for dear life in a high temperature, very vibration intense environment for 25 years. You know, they're bound to corrode, break, whatever it might be. I've already had to redo probably 10 plus connectors just down below in the engine. That gives me data that's crucial to running the boat on my gauges. So check your connections. If you got a gauge that's reading faulty, first thing I would look at is replacing your electrical connections. So there you go. Fixed my transmission oil pressure issue. Now I gotta fix this fuel gauge on the port side. I can't figure out why the fuel gauge isn't reading. It's showing 100% all the time when I know it should match the starboard gauge, or at least be very close. So anyway, that'll be the next electrical gremlin that I hunt down. But it's hot. I'm gonna go eat lunch. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.